I've been an athlete and interested in nutrition, eating well, and also eating for performance, eating the way that an athlete would. So I spent a lot of my life eating a lot of carbs and the typical runner's thing of pasta and lots of potatoes and oatmeal and things like that. And I went through a phase where I increased the protein in my diet a lot and did a lot more research about nutrition online, and that's how I stumbled upon the CR information and started reading some of the literature on the website, getting more interested in the aspects of it, not necessarily just because of longevity, but because of increased health day to day. And the last year or so, I really have been doing CR with the optimal nutrition part, and I have seen some good changes.
What does that mean, the optimal nutrition part?
Well, I think what that means for a few years prior to that, I was restricting calories to try to enhance my running. But I wasn't paying attention to how much nutrition I was getting. And that final part kind of fell into place about a year ago. And the almost immediate thing that happened is I reset my weight set point by about 10%. And had, as a result of that, have achieved the goal that I was trying to do for a few years before that, was to kind of be lighter on my feet, literally, when running. And so that was a good effect, and I do feel better. Like a lot of CR people, I don't get sick, but that's kind of always been true for me. So that
what was it that you did to reset, or what was the change that you made when you went on CR versus your previous diet?
Well, it really was gradual. So I don't think there was anything specific that I did that I can say was the key. My theory is actually that I crossed a threshold in terms of getting nutrition through real food as opposed to taking vitamins and having a high enough level of protein. So I think it was kind of the combination of that. So a lot more veggies and salads and enough protein, and somehow those two things I think is kind of what tipped off the set point change for the better.
How do you monitor what you're eating?
I'm currently using a website called FitDay, which is free if you use their online thing, but you can't download your data or print out things like that. You could purchase software from them to do that. But yeah, I've been plugging all my data into that and
Do you weigh everything that you eat?
No, I do some things though. So I do have a scale, and so I do portion out some things, but a lot of things I estimate, and I think I've gotten pretty familiar with doing weights, with weighing some things and estimating the weights of other things. So.
And I know that you're an endurance runner. You do even 100-mile trail races. I'm wondering how being on a CR diet has affected that.
That is still kind of TBA, because I did do a long race last summer, so that was after at least several months of real CR, and that went fine. So, but over long term, I don't know if my ability to do very long things is going to be diminished. I don't think it will, because I have just as much muscle mass as I used to, and I think that's really the key.
Is there any advice you would give someone that was interested in CR or just starting out in CR?
The advice I would give is, if you're already interested in nutrition for yourself, if you're interested in food, and especially if you like to cook, I guess in that situation there's not a lot of advice I can give, because that's the ideal situation to be in. I love to cook. I love to learn stuff about myself and experiment on myself. So, for someone who needs advice, perhaps the best way to get excited about CR is talk to someone who is doing it and ask them about the effects that they've seen and how much better they feel, the fact that they never get sick, and maybe even about the benefits, which are not health related, but are certainly desirable. You know, the lowering of your set point. You know, a lot of people when they're on CR, they kind of by default they'll lose weight. They will become more attractive. You know, that kind of boosts your self-confidence, which is a nice thing. And there's a lot of camaraderie amongst people who do CR, and so there's always going to be someone who will want to talk to you about how to prepare a great CR meal, and you know, even how to prepare, you know, CR treats, you know, brownies and things like that are healthy. And so I really think the camaraderie from the group is a great resource to use.
Great. So you also have a food service where do you prepare CR food?
Not at this time, and that's only because the personal chef business that I have is still in its infancy. So I would like to do that. I don't know of any other calorie restricted people in my immediate area. So but ideally, yes, I would like to cater to that crowd or to people who are on healthy diets in general.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I don't know. I think if someone's on the fence about doing CR and a conference is coming up, go. Because that's kind of why I came. I live nearby as well, so it was easy to do. And because I'm still really getting into CR as a lifestyle and philosophy, I figured coming to the conference would help, and it really did. You know, it's a really fun time, and meeting everybody that you've been emailing for months is fantastic, and so that's it.